Hell doesn't mean that you have to be in a different state and suffering day by day, and fire will be burning and you will be in it. That's what allegorical. Hell simply means day by day you are not enjoying all your resources. You are sitting on velvety bed, but nothing velvety about it. All that you are feeling is prickly thoughts. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Gyan Murtim Bandvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vāsiṣṭha, Sthiti Prakarana, and section is 57. The topic is method of destroying Vasanas. Do not stay resting on your asanas. Work on your vasanas. Simple wish. Asanas means you are, whatever pose you are in, don't stay with it. Even if you stay with it, have your mind to work upon your vasanas. In other words, don't stay with the practical world and all its problems and just keep your mind busy. But go after the cause that puts you into these practical problems, cause that has put you in physical body. It's not a very great thing to be in a little brittle and very unsteady structure, mechanism, the body mindset. And very tender eyes, you see, just one little prick, and you can't see. One little hit on the head, one brain center gone, whole world begins to shake. So, don't stay confined to this state. This is your wrong asana. Work upon the vasanas. Vasanas are subtle impressions operating through your subconscious. To give you a general understanding, all your experiences bring about their impressions. And impressions go deep into your unconscious. They are called samskaras. Just like in forest, all trees bring about their seeds. But all the seeds don't germinate. Many stay buried, go deep into the earth. And they wait for sometimes 4 or 5 years later. They will begin to work. But there are many seeds that will begin to germinate. Samskaras, they relate to sanchit karma, accumulated storehouse of your karmas. And you don't worry about them. There's a lot of accumulated, so there's no limit to it. But out of all those karmas and samskaras, only a portion, if that karma process is big ocean, a portion is just a little wave, that has given birth to your present personality. So what you are based on, you have to live your life based on a little portion of your sanchit karma known as prarabdha, fructifying karma. Prarabdha determines jati, ayu, bhoga. Jati, which class? Where are you going to be born? In Alaska, Australia, India? What type of parents? What type of hereditary factors will go into your personality? All that is done by your own sanchit karma. So if you find bad, wrong family, don't blame them. You are being led by your karma. And so that jati, where you are born, if you have been a musician in the past and you have that type of karma, then you'll be born in a musical family. And so forth. Next point, ayu. Ayu is how long you are going to live. To the masses, longer you live, better you are. So therefore the general blessing is live long, live long. More defined, live for 100 years. And there is no harm. That blessing is perfectly okay as long as you live with purpose. You live in a purposeless way, then that blessing becomes a curse. Live facing a constant, terrible malady, your life becomes a curse. So, ayu, life, how long will you live? That's called ayu. That ayu is determined by your prarabdha. But another point you have to understand, prarabdha has created certain determined results. But your purushartha can make changes in the prarabdha. So you are not entirely handled by your past. The third state of karma is called kriyaman karma. As prarabdha begins to operate, now your present effort can make big changes in the operation of your prarabdha. If it is your prarabdha to bring you a certain challenging situation that appears sorrowful, your purushartha can handle that challenging situation with the spirit of austerity and use the challenging situation as a basis for progress. And it gives them more progress than agreeable situation does. So you have to understand subtle points. So therefore, you are not entirely handled by your prarabdha. Prarabdha gives a general highlight of your life. Just like a writer creates a plot before he writes a whole volume. The plot he creates can be for in 1 or 2 pages, highlights. But when he begins to write, he's suddenly led by his inspiration. First the plot was pathetic, ending in pathos. But now, as you begin to handle it, the plot gives you the message. On one side seems pathetic, and the other side is giving you a profound, joyous message. That's the general picture of Vedanta, you see. The whole world is useless. It is nothing. But by the time you feel so much sorrow, you are everything. You are the only reality. Keep it. Now, 3 points we are saying: jati, the type of family will be born; ayu, how long you will live; bhoga, your experiences of pleasure and pain. In this section, we are focused on gaining insight into vasanas. Vasana comes in 2 categories: Shubha Vasana, Ashubha Vasana. Shubha Vasana is the ideal, you must promote it. That is Vasana based upon your practice of yoga, practice of good karmas, have done lots of generous activities, and they have created their vasanas, impressions in your unconscious. From what impressions I have developed vasana, may I have the more opportunity to enjoy helping others. Just being good is not enough. Doing good also is important. You develop that type of vasana. If you are developing that type of vasana, it's called Shubha Vasana. You are developing vasana for exploring more and more of your spiritual resources, for succeeding in meditation, samadhi, then that vasana is Shubha Vasana. Technical term, aklishta vasana. Vasana that is not feeding 5 points. 5 points are known as Kleshas. Avidya, ignorance, that is the source of all troubles. How do you nourish avidya? By avoiding every opportunity that allows you to listen to words of knowledge, to be sensitive to learn lessons from your life. God provides many occasions. Every day He's never tired to allow the sun to rise. And sun comes with a message. Look how darkness was so terrible. But look what's happening to the darkness. The rays of the sun. And where's the darkness go? And how the sky appears. Now, if you could be facing your morning without your worries and anxieties, imagine how much inspiration you can get. The whole nature is giving you satsanga, a profound teaching. But there are many opportunities, but ignorance doesn't allow you because you are not aware, you don't have the knowledge that what you are looking for is everywhere around you. It just requires a little change in your glasses. So that's called ignorance. Staying with ignorance, you are intensifying your ignorance. Avidya, enjoying to be a dullwit. That also gives enjoyment. The more you don't know, better you are. You don't know about karma, the fruits of karma, and the practice of integral yoga, and all that. You don't know, and you enjoy not knowing. You are thereby intensifying your avidya, ignorance. Next is egoism, asmita. Asmita is a powerful disease. It's like inflated ego, cancerous ego. All that you attain in your life, you view all attainment on the basis of ego. I have attained all this. I have done all this. But when you do that, you never express all the troubles you also have done. So it's always discriminative. So ego-based vision is a distorted vision. Every mantra comes with a nama. It is meant to bring about ego effacement. Neither me nor mine. Ego is the key to dynamic progress on the spiritual path. If you keep your ego tamasic or rajasic, you are moving away from attaining enlightenment. If you allow your ego to become sattvic, led by all good qualities which we are going to mention, then that ego paves the way for your soul to attain communion with God. Your eye shifts from body, mind, and world to identity with God Himself. And led by asmita, more general type of trouble that people face is through raga and dvesha. Raga is attachment, dvesha is hatred. Backed up by raga dvesha, lots of negative karmas are created. They bring about mala, gross impurities, anger, greed, jealousy, hate, all that come in your mind. Behind that are only two fingers, raga, dvesha. And behind raga, dvesha, asmita, egoism. Now, led by raga, dvesha, the last of the Kleshas, these are highlighted points. Last is abhinivesh klesha. Fear of death. Knowing that your body set is mortal. The mind does not have any other idea of happiness than seeing yourself with your body endlessly. Can't imagine to be nobody. This is a profound point. It's not easy to understand. It's instinctive for everybody, every soul, to be gripped by fear of death. That fear of death is the urge to discover I am the mortal self that urge has become distorted. You want to live, but your definition of life has changed. But this want to live has its root in the reality that you are eternally alive. These five Kleśas, they have their impressions and they have their Vasanas working through your subconscious. If you understand them and you understand how to counteract these five, then you bring about a big change in your subconscious. If your subconscious is changing, you are adopting a path that will give you profound happiness, real happiness. But if your subconscious does not change, all your attainment will be a big illusion. An illusion after illusion. Things that you attained in this birth, in the next birth you will forget all about them. And you may repeat the same experiences. It goes on and on. The scriptures describe it in a little horrible way. It's called vāmtāsi. Things that you experienced, and by the time you left your body, you were vomiting about it. You really like that. In next birth, you are aspiring to get back what you have vomited. Do the same errors. In the beginning, renounce those vasanas which are founded on rajas and tamas. In their place, develop sattvic, pure vasanas, which sustain such attitudes as friendliness with all, Maitrī. So when we say develop sattvic vasana, this is now the details about it. Develop Maitrī bhavana, feeling of friendliness, not on the basis of details about the person. That it also happens. You go and in a train or in a plane and meet people, then you ask so many questions. And somehow the person you are talking with, he knew your grandfather. Well, now you feel, oh, you are a great friend. Come to another level of friendship. You develop a sense of joyousness as you would have felt with your brother, your sister, your close relative. Someone has a difficulty and you help the person to resolve the difficulty. Even if he is limping a little, you help him. The spontaneous feeling of friendliness. That is the healthy state. All souls, they come from God. They are rays of God. And you are one of those rays from practical point of view. For your ray to shine, your attitude towards others must be in a profound way. You should not view others as lesser, but view others as a part of you. If others are being helped and you hear a good news that some humanitarian work was done and a And thousands of people have been helped. Are those thousands belong to India? I'm joking. If they belong to India, oh yes, good. Elsewhere. Leading to understand friendliness. Friendliness doesn't depend upon place and many other divisions. Friendliness. And friendliness is not confined just to human beings, animals, birds. Any life struggling is a life relates to you. Your heart feels better if you have friendliness to see anyone, any soul relieved of misery. But you then don't take up the whole responsibility. I am the only one to relieve their misery. You develop the bhavana of feeling that they are all your brothers, sisters, closest of relatives, in the hands of God. So Maitrī bhavana. And this bhavana is for the entire world. That's why in Ramayana you have Rama is led by Vishwamitra. Vishwa is the universe. Mitra, friendliness. That type of personality led Rama. Next, Karuṇā. Maitrī, Karuṇā, Muditā, Upekṣā. 4 points have been Yoga Vāsiṣṭha is bringing out. They also, you find them in Raja Yoga Sutras. Karuṇā means compassion. Compassion should not be based on egoistic level. Because only when you know that someone is friendly, then his trouble is, you view it with compassion. But when you hear that someone is not friendly, someone is slightly inimical, and he has come to trouble, there is no compassion. Rather, there is the only thing you are frustrated, this person didn't receive punishment the way you want. This is the normal mind, working with news media constantly, pointing finger, that person did that wrong, he must face the punishment. When he faces it, enjoyable show. Think of your own family. Suppose you have 10, 15 members, children, etc. in your family. Each one has a different attitude. But no matter what attitude, if you are holding a family harmony and love, you handle all. Someone has done good deeds, and you praise and admire. But someone did wrong deeds, now you want to help the person to get rid of the evil habit. Just like someone catches a virus, comes with cold and cough. It's practical to tell the person, put a swab on your nose. But you do that lovingly. So even if you, in action, you are trying to avoid the person, and you should. But at the same time, in your heart, you are simply helping yourself not to catch the virus. And with the intention, the person who brought the virus may become free of it. If you have that attitude, you are not looking at people as horrible people and they must be punished. They're put into prison for their whole life. In what way are you going to be fulfilled? Simple understanding. Why do people do terrible deeds? Because their mind is not healthy. Not having a healthy mind becomes a terrible situation in everyone's life. And though from practical point of view, you need to handle things in a practical way, but at your heart level, you must not develop animosity, but develop love and compassion. There is not a criminal, not a sinner for whom you cannot have open heart. Figure that out. It's not easy to understand. That's why in the scriptures, Rama kills terrible demon. But in the end, the light comes from the demon and Rama enfolds it. Goes into Rama. Because at a deeper level, Rama has nothing but love for all. Karuṇā, that's compassion. And if you have that compassion type of attitude, it will allow you to live in a very peaceful manner. Because the compassion goes towards you as well. You understand. The bearer knows where the shoe pinches. You understand why you do abrupt things. What is the cause? And whatever cause it is, in divine hand, by divine compassion, the cause will be remedied if you put your mind in the right direction. So you are looking at your own problem with a compassionate eye, not a punishment eye. I've done horrible deeds, I must finish reaping the harvest of the horrible deeds. I can't escape it. You're not forgiving yourself. You're not looking at yourself with compassion because you have not practiced compassion for others. Figure that out. It goes both ways. Be good, do good. Muditā. Muditā is cheerfulness. And it applies to your attitude towards those who are advanced, who are superiors, maybe in wealth, maybe in good qualities, in success, in popularity. Those who are higher than you, at higher level, general tendency in the human mind not to bear with the idea somebody can go higher than you. First instinct is, how can he pull his leg? Jealousy towards others' progress. That enters into mind in different ways. Others' progress may imply some little good qualities somebody brings about others. I don't like it. Because you have been practicing so much and nobody is praising you. Someone came in the ashram, hardly did some sadhana for 2 days, Or you start praising him or her. This type of attitude should not be there. Whenever you see anyone succeeding, someone has a lot of a headache and is free from headache, you should be joyous. Someone was poor and became rich, happy, you should be joyous. I'm talking about real success, real progress. If someone is progressing by hook or by crook, don't be joyous about it. That also have subtleness. Not be joyous doesn't mean you go become angry with the person or feels negative. We learn lesson not to follow that example. But simple point, with equals, develop a sense of friendliness. With superior, develop sense of joyousness. With people who are inferior, I'm talking in a different context, people who are not up to your status, who seem to have done a lot of negative things and going downgrade, develop compassion. And fourth type, people who are completely dull wit, gone to such negativity that if you lift them up, you will yourself get caught in it. So, simply avoid any further contact. Become a wall. Don't interact. Don't open any channel. It's called Upekṣā. These points must be practiced in all your relations and understand you are related to the entire universe. Sometimes you are not practically dealing with people, but you are developing attitude. You hear the news, what's happening in Australia. Now you develop attitudes towards certain families, that are the good ones. This type of mental freedom to go on picking up impressions from different sources has to be corrected by your own intelligence. Just like you are not supposed to go on breathing in everywhere there is contamination, but find place where there is more oxygen. In the same way, so many things happen. Don't go after everything that is happening. Allow your mind not to become muddled. Thereby, now what you are doing, you are paving the way for Shubha Vasanas, purified impressions in your mind. Otherwise, every day you end up your day and your mind is holding grudge against people who are equal to you. You don't want them to stay equal. You did hard work to be where you are. Here's another person without doing hard work comes to your equal level. I'm joking. People come superior. Now your mind is still under stress. Look at that. If I were in his shoes, how great it would have been. But I am better than that person, and that person is doing so good. Let's pull his feet. Look at how your mind is holding different layers of trouble. And then people who are suffering and it is their low-grade stage, instead of having compassion in your heart, look what bad karma they did. It's good for them. Try to see two types of heart. A heart that is develops Shubh Vasana, positive, divine attitude, and a heart that has developed negative Vasana. That heart becomes the source of hell. Hell doesn't mean that you have to be in a different state and suffering day by day and fire will be burning and will be in it. That's what allegorical. Hell simply means day by day you are not enjoying all your resources. You're sitting on velvety bed, but nothing velvety about it. All that you are feeling is prickly thoughts. The earth is still snakish elements. I'm joking. That's the giving a general idea of the world. So therefore, replacing impure vasanas with pure vasanas, sublimating impure vasanas into pure vasanas. That's the profound secret of leading this soul to a healthy state of joyousness. And the healthiest state of the soul is realizing I am that, I am Brahman. Having replaced impure vasanas with pure ones, you will then experience the shining wisdom of the self, which leads you beyond all the vasanas of the mind. The ultimate goal, once you attain enlightenment, you don't need vasanas. Even pure vasanas you are not dependent upon. Vasanas have become like soft clouds. And now they are not obstructing the light of the sun. Sun goes through the clouds. And instead of restricting the sun, the vasana is making the sun shine better, giving a coloring to the sunshine. That's the role of Shubha Vasana. It's glorifying the sun. And finally it will dissolve. But Shubha Vasana is operating in a totally different way. Ashubha Vasana, black clouds, which obstructs the sun and distorts the sunlight. And sun is your own self. Through Ashubha Vasana, you find yourself in dark, surrounded by dark forces. Shubha Vasana, you find yourself enjoying the shower of grace. And beyond all vasanas, you are the sun, you are the self. He who has renounced the sense of egoism from his heart is ever liberated. Asmita Klesha, when that moves away, sense of ego, rajasic, tamasic ego. Once the ego pressure goes away, you have nothing to gain or to lose from the entire world. Just like if you are dreaming and in your dream there develops the idea, it is a dream. Then you have nothing to lose or gain from your dream. It doesn't matter whether he engages himself in action or remains inactive. The life lived by one who has attained liberation because of purity of vasanas. Now his external manners should be understood with a sensitive mind. If you don't have proper understanding, then your mind will always ask the question, well, sage was supposed to attain enlightenment, and when you attain enlightenment, you don't need to do any karma. And now he's busy with so many projects. And so many things. Personalities of sages can be very progressive, can also suffer from diseases, certain problems. Even greatest of personalities like Jesus to suffer a lot, a type of suffering that we can't imagine. And even the great incarnation, Krishna, from his physical point of view, even at the last stage of his death, he hardly wants to rest. That a hunter finds him like a big deer, shoots him. So, enlightenment is not to be judged on the basis of how your bodily life behaves. Some sages seem quite active. Some sages stay with more mauna, silence. All these should not confuse you. Those who have attained enlightenment, their enlightenment is secure. The enlightenment is not to be judged by how externally your personality appears. No matter how enlightened you are, and if you have attained enlightenment in 60, you are going to be 80 soon. He who has rendered his mind free of vasanas no longer depends upon spiritual practices such as japa, samadhi, which are many things. All the practices, siddhi, sadhana, enlightened sage will continue to do all this, but he is not dependent upon. Sadhaka is one who practices sadhana for attaining siddhi. Siddhi is enlightenment. Between sadhana and siddhi, the difference is when you do sadhana, your effort is involved in whatever you do. You are told the world is illusory. Now you constantly work upon it. There's effort. Now there comes a stage when all is illusory, nobody has to tell you. You don't have to consult the books. It's an effortless attainment. Now you don't depend upon sadhanas. You may still be doing your prayer, maybe still guiding people and telling them about every stage of yoga. But for one who has attained that state, he is not dependent. Another way to understand, all the needed guidance he gives, it comes spontaneously through his mind, without work. Sage Vāsiṣṭha tells Rama his own experience. I have studied the scriptures and reflected upon them for a long, long time. Sage Vāsiṣṭha is saying to Rama. And I have thus determined the essence of all teachings. Indeed, the essence is that an aspirant must continue to acquire increasing wisdom with the help of listening, reflection, and meditation on the self. Now, coming to sadhana aspect, these are the important points. Shravana, listening. But listening to people generally is confined only when you come to the ashram and listen to something. That's of course the basic foundation, listening to spiritual teachings. But your listening should have more extension. All through the day, what you are listening. And better still, what you make others listen. And that plays a tremendous part in your life, in your spiritual movement. So work upon the listening point. And then manana. Manana is how you are relishing it and assimilating it. Bringing to your own heart, bringing to your own deeper roots of your personality. And nididhyasana, when mind has become highly advanced, thoughts of the mind are not going after the objects of the world. The mind's movement becomes a kind of mystic movement called bhakti, brahmakara vritti. Total mind becomes involved. To understand that point, I'll give you a simple simile. Mind, ordinary mind is like a lake. Lake where waves are rising up and down, shaky lake. Therefore, that lake, when it practices a reflection, it is not reflecting anything clear. Everything reflected in it shakes. But the same lake becomes calm. Then what is it reflecting? Reflecting the sky. That sky reflection is nididhyasana. That leads you to sakshatkar, liberation. With this I am concluding. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya